my job, that's probably why you're here. Although maybe it's not. Maybe you're just here to get to know me a little bit better, in which case you're going to have some fun. This is going to be a good time. So when we show up to your city, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is travel. Like, we go anywhere in the country, right? We would go anywhere in the world, but you know how wealth management rules and regulations and laws are. They don't not necessarily transfer across borders or across bodies of water. So we're just making our bones here in America and pretty happy about it. All 50 states, we will go anywhere and work with any wealth management team. Don't wonder if that means you. Yes, it means you. Guam, Puerto Rico, wherever you can practice under the wealth management laws of America, we will come do a video at your location. We bring 2 giant cases and 2 giant backpacks and sometimes a couple extra cases of gear to you so that you can have all of this production that you see in front of you. We can create that directly in your office. So if we come to your office, the first thing that will normally happen is we'll show up right around 7:30, 8 a.m., and we will get the lay of the land. We'll take a walkthrough. Normally you guys will have sent us photos of your office by this point, so we'll have a pretty good idea of what we're looking for. But just to be able to make sure that, you know, somebody hasn't put a desk in the place that it wasn't before or moved a plant in that wasn't there before, we'll walk around and get the lay of the land. Then it's time to figure out, okay, what's first on the schedule? Are we doing interviews? Are we doing B-roll, right? Interviews, you know, I'm kind of like, I'm the guy that does all of the interviewing around here, right? And it's one of the most favorite parts of my job. As you wealth management guys know, like, getting to know your clients can be such an enriching experience. It really kind of just like informs you about choices you've made in your own life, and like it's just an incredible experience when you get to know why a person built their business, who they love to serve and why they love to serve them, and what their specialties are and why they went after those specialties and what was the difficulty in attaining those specialties. Those things are just such fantastic nuggets of information, and people's eyes light up when they talk about them too, right? Because it's hard-earned stuff to become a successful wealth management advisor. So I usually don't like to do interviews first when we come into an office, but sometimes, you know, like you can't avoid it. I'm the guy that likes to warm up, as you can see by even the LinkedIn Live. I need some inertia. Once I get rolling, hard to stop me, right? But interviews, same thing, right? Like, it takes this focus to be able to get through an interview, keeping it conversational while still checking off everything that needs to be checked off in terms of the information that you're looking for to create the video, right? So it's a skill that I've acquired over a long time of practice, and I'm pretty proud of it. And it's one of the best parts of my job. Still, it's very hard to ply that trade correctly at 8 a.m. And also, like, I try to interview new guys on the team first, people who will have like less involvement in the video from the master cut perspective, right? Like, it's easy to get warmed up when I'm talking to your head of investments, right? And, you know, he's talking about all of the minutia, and he's getting excited about the numbers, and I can really just kind of get the lay of the land. So then by the time when I get to talk to, you know, the partners or the lead advisor on the team, you know, I'm good and warmed up, and I can fire away some really nice questions, good follow-ups, because I know more about what's happening in the business because I've talked to other people ahead of time. Sometimes that doesn't always work, you know, like, again, when we were working with Scott last week, Scott was the very first name on the list for a Tuesday morning interview. Good thing is, I know Scott and his team pretty well, so I was able to make that one happen fairly easy. But I'll tell you what, it is hard sometimes when you get to a brand new team and the first thing they want you to do is interview the lead partner 8 a.m. Monday morning. Because, you know, even though we've done a ton of pre-production, personality is something that is so much a part of the experience of making these videos. And corporate culture is really a top-down sort of thing, right? So when you meet all of the team members first and see how they have been steeped in this culture, it really gives you a better idea of how you want to handle asking certain questions with the lead advisor or the partners later on. So just my personal process, that's the way I like to do it. I always tell people not to worry about ums, ahs, long pauses. If they forget what they're saying, if they have to look out the window, if they have to phone a friend for an answer, all of that's good. It hits the editing room floor, and this is my knock 'em dead speech. Every time I say, only your most eloquent self makes it through, right? People love that. But it's the truth. I mean, here at Optimum Films, we just edit the hell out of everything just so that we can get only the most confident sounding sound bites. You know, that's what really works with wealth management. Just see it like right then, just even me just saying it makes me sound like I don't know exactly what I'm going to say next. And because this is a free form sort of environment where I'm kind of just rapid fire off the top of my head, that works, right? Like, it's just sort of supposed to be entertaining. But when it's supposed to be a brand identifier, right? Like if this was going on my website as an agency video, a corporate culture video, a hero video, I would want that to sound as professional and put together as possible, because I don't want people thinking of me as being unsure of myself at the end of the day, right? So that's the reason why we edit everything so carefully here at Optimum Films. It's just because we want to make sure that we get the most confident sounding sound bites out of everything. And so that you can just feel confident in the fact that even if you do say or forget what you're saying, have the biggest brain fart ever, that it's not going to make you look unprofessional, right? So that added comfort for you in the interview process, I think really helps bring out better conversations in the long run. So that pretty much covers interviews. I mean, really, like you gotta remember, like there's 40 minutes of setup that goes into any interview because you have to set like this good key lighting that's hitting the side of my face here. I have to judge how much shadow's coming on the side of this face here. And then I got, you know, like accent lighting. I've got like this nice hair light that's making the locks glow and shine because I use really expensive conditioner. And then, you know, a little bit of light on the shoulders to cut me out from the background there. So it's not just like you walk into an office, set up a camera, and you're good to go. No, it takes a little bit of time to get there. But once we do, you know, we can, like for team members, right? Like you set us into the conference room and we've got 4 team members. We can get those suckers knocked out back to back to back to back. Now, when it's partners, right, or if it's the lead advisor, we normally like to interview them in their own space. That also adds just that extra layer of personality for the people who are coming in. They want to feel like they know the advisor ahead of time. And knowing what the advisor's office looks like ahead of time, seeing the advisor in his space ahead of time, is just one more piece that adds to that level of comfort that gets you to that know, like, and trust stage where they feel that peace of mind and they know that they are in good hands. They know that they're in the right place, right? So the next thing that I want to talk about is B-roll. What is B-roll, right? A lot of times people are like, you know, can you just shoot the interviews and then go on your merry way? And that's fine, right? Like we've done videos like that. But when you're cutting videos so carefully as we do here, you need something to cover up over the top. Otherwise, you get a bunch of jump cuts in the talking head. and nobody wants that, right? So you have to cover some of those transitions up. We can use stock footage, right? Online stock footage has lots of lifestyle images that we can choose from that will create sort of the everyman image of who you want your client to be. But if it's a client testimonial, or if it's you talking about your team's expertise, the clients really want to see you in action, right? So being in your office, we will go around and we will film everybody individually at their desks doing their work, being very diligent, serious looks, furrowed brows, making sure they're checking the numbers right, and then we'll stop and say, hey, how about give me a take where this is the most fun day at work you've ever had? And everybody will smile and they'll be typing and kind of giggling, and you get some different looks about these people are serious and they're professional versus these people are approachable, these people are fun to work with, right? So we get all those different looks in B-roll, and then we'll do what we call pairings, where we take people who actually do business together on a regular basis, and we'll put them together in a different environment and just kind of show how their collaboration works back and forth, right? Now, I say people who are actually working together because they will have this sort of pantomime body language, right, between them, because they've already done work together before. Even no matter what they're talking about, they have a level of comfort with each other that's just palpable on screen, right? A lot of times advisors will be like, oh, I got this new guy on the team and I've got this advisor that is like really special to me. I just kind of want to throw them together because we haven't really got a lot of footage of them. Well, if they don't work together on a regular basis, it'll be a little bit of them getting to know each other live on camera, right? You'll capture that image. That subconsciously is put into the viewer that there is like a little bit of unease between these two characters, right? So definitely something to be aware about, that you can't just pair everybody in the office together. You definitely want to stick with people who actually do work together. What looks best on camera every time, guys, is actual work. I know it sounds easy, maybe a no-brainer, right? But a lot of times people's natural instinct on camera is to just like sort of yuck it up and pretend like they're working. Hey, do you want me to make a phone call? Hello, Veronica, this is Rob. How are you today? Well, I'm fine, thank you. I'm just having the best time. People can sort of sense, even when there's no audio, they can sense that this isn't actual, this isn't heartfelt, right? When that phone actually rings and I capture you picking it up, because people's natural intention when they answer that phone and they want that person on the other end to know that they are ready to help them in any way possible, they get this little smile on their face and they breathe in just a little bit, so they sit taller and then they start speaking. You pick up on so many subconscious cues as a human because you've been watching people's body language your whole life, right? And so a lot of people just don't understand that that's what video is about. It's about really kind of like introducing people to your subculture level tribalism, right? Like, you as a culture have developed all of these little interesting cues between you that can't really even be intimated, right? That you and your team, especially the good ones, right, just have a natural rapport with each other. And capturing that in the B-roll can be so valuable and really help to make clients feel like they know this place that they're coming to. They know these people who they're going to be working with ahead of time. Gets you to that know, like, and trust factors a lot faster. Close a potential client into an actual client much faster. All right. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is what happens if we have to go to one of your clients' homes, right? That can always be kind of like a difficult thing to ask for an advisor, right? Especially, I think a lot of advisors build relationships with clients inside the walls of their office, which is a fantastic way to do it, right? Because it really gets people out of their world and helps them to find, that focus on the financial tasks and topics that they have to cover in those meetings, right? But from a visual perspective, it looks and says different things, right? So when we have the clients come into the office and we film you meeting with the clients in the office, we film their interviews in the office, the subconscious cues in the back of a person's mind are, okay, I have to go to them, right? But when I go to them, they will welcome me like this, right? I am made to feel at ease while I'm in their office. We are able to cover everything that we need to because they have all these tools in their office, right? Those are subconscious cues that people are getting. When you are in the client space, if you're in their home, if you're at their office, totally different subconscious cues, right? It kind of shows how you care about the client enough to be in their space. You are more personal with the client. You're seen as more personal with the client when you're in their space. You're seen as more involved in their day-to-day affairs when you're in their space. If you can be seen with their family, you're seen as a much more approachable person. That concept of being a family man can be really cemented by the way that you interact with your client's family, right? Also, if you are talking about small business and you're on the floor of a factory shaking hands with all of the employees who are part of the 401k plan that you guys helped set up, it really, in the client who's watching that video, it sets up in their mind, oh my gosh, if I have this program for my clients, this guy will come in and he will be there for them, right? Like, this is going to add value to my clients' lives. So different subconscious cues that can be picked up when you're in different places, something that people always need to think about. We take for granted that we are a visual people, and that most everything that we take in, we make a judgment based on how it looks, right? And it's just the facts of the matter, right? So when we're crafting these videos, we always want to make sure that we are putting together images that paint you in the light that you want your clients to think of you, right? So that is what happens in the day of a regular shoot, and sometimes those shoots will happen over as many as like 3 days for a single advisor, depending on how many videos they want to produce. If you're just getting a corporate culture video, normally we're in and out inside of 2 8-hour days, maybe less. If you are getting a corporate culture video and targeted marketing video and community impact video, and then you want several of your client testimonials broken out into individual videos, that might mean that we're on location for about 3 days, and you want to be thorough when we're there, because it's a lot easier for us to capture it while we're there than to have to schedule to come back later. So yeah, if you have any questions at all about how Optimum Films runs its production process at all, please feel free to reach out. Go to our website, wealthmanagementvideo.com. You can go to our social media pages. Optimum Films Inc., I believe, is at Twitter and at LinkedIn. And Facebook, I don't know. Nobody's on Facebook. It doesn't even really matter. Anyway, make sure that you follow us. Make sure that you are checking out our socials, because we really try to provide content every day that will help advisors and their marketing teams to put together better social media strategies involving video. The world is changing so much as far as wealth management advisors and how they can use video, that you don't want to be left behind. And we definitely know that we have perfected some strategies that will keep you on that cutting edge. So if you're at all curious about those, if you're at all interested in how you can put video to work for you and your team and help better inform your clients, help better connect with them, and help build longer, stronger lasting relationships, hit us up. OptimumFilms.com, WealthManagementVideo.com. I'm Rob Gosby, Rob G at OptimumFilms.com. Sid is outside, Sid at OptimumFilms.com. Get at us, people. We love you. We're here for you. All right. So it's like that. Like Rakim used to say. Well, it wasn't Rakim. It was his DJ. Yo, what's up? What's Rakim's DJ? They're messing up my outro. They're messing up my outro, man. Eric B and Rakim. Like, people are like, all right, so what happened to peace?